Third world literature in the era of multinational capitalism is an essay, 1986 essay by Frederic Jameson, the celebrated, Marxist critic, or better, postmodern Marxist critic, or postmodern critic, whatever you choose to call him. It was originally conceived by him in a monograph on Wyndham Lewis called Fables of Aggression. Now, this is a very useful category. I find it very useful, and I find it quite correct with respect to so many texts. But then many people have objected to the use of this term, and they find a huge kind of reductionism coming in this. So let us try to understand what it is. This is specifically with reference to novels, okay? Jameson argues that many novels, especially those from the third world, they, more than representing any individual story, though individuals are there, they try to represent the status of the nation, issues of the nation, and all these things through those individual characters. And it is somewhat like those allegorical plays of the medieval age, Everyman, for instance, where every man is basically every man, but not in a specific character. So similarly, he argues that most of the so-called third world nations, again, third world is a controversial term, but I'm not using it. I'm just explaining, what he has to say. In fact, in all the videos that I'm explaining here, the issues and things are other people's. My views are expressed in my individual papers, publications, which if you are interested, you can contact me. Here, this is basically for students and scholars, and due to the pandemic, we have come online. Anyway, so national allegory, I think it is clear now. These novels, according to Jameson, are not actually individual stories so much as they are representation of the status of the nation. If I give a concrete example, it will be clear to you. Say, the very famous post-colonial novel, A House for Mr. Biswas. Here, Mr. Biswas is a person tries to build his house in a post-colonial setup. But if you delve deeper, you will see that this is not only the condition of Mr. Biswas, but then it is representative of a huge chunk of Caribbean people who underwent the same condition when there was decolonization, except those very rich. So it is an allegory, a national allegory. In the same way, Salman Rushdie's Midnight Children, it is not about Salim Sinai 1 or Salim Sinai 2, but then more or less every Indian. He himself also was born, by the way, 1947 midnight. So this is allegorical. Again, if we go a little back in time, in fact, things fall apart also. Through Okonko, what is represented is the fall of Igbo tribe. The fall of the Igbo community, Igbo tribe, is represented through Okonko. So it is not only Okonko's personal story. So these kinds of novels, which represent through their major characters or incidents the state, condition, history, etc. of the entire nation, are called national allegories. And Jameson quite controversially further adds in his 1986 essay that most of the novels coming from the third world are uh, national allegories. So far as I am concerned, now let me give a personal opinion. I find it is quite true. But people have strongly objected to this. Among them, a prominent is Ijaz Ahmed and other critics, objected or extended or critic, but I don't have any problem. Just as now, as I've given the examples of all these novels. So, these are from the colonies, and then mostly they deal with this allegorical nature. Thank you.